Emily sat at her desk, the afternoon sun filtering through the blinds, casting warm stripes across her workspace. As a graphic designer, she found joy in creating visually stunning elements, yet lately, her mind had been preoccupied with thoughts of her husband, Mark. Their marriage had always been a source of pride, but something felt off. Mark was a rising star in his corporate job, known for his charm and ambition. Emily admired his dedication, but as the weeks passed, she noticed subtle changes in his behavior. Late nights at work became more frequent, and phone calls turned into whispered conversations. Initially, she brushed it off as the demands of his career, but a nagging feeling of doubt crept in. One evening, determined to surprise him, Emily decided to visit Mark at his office. As she entered, she overheard laughter coming from his office. Curious, she peered through the glass door and was met with a sight that shattered her heart. Mark leaning casually against his desk, flirting with his colleague Jessica. Their chemistry was palpable, and Emily felt her world tilt on its axis. She stepped back, her heart racing. The betrayal was undeniable. Emily's mind raced with questions. How long had this been going on? Was their entire marriage a lie? That night, the air in their home was thick with tension. Mark arrived late, oblivious to the storm brewing inside Emily. She waited for him in the living room, arms crossed, her heart pounding in her chest. "Hey, babe. Sorry I'm late," Mark said, tossing his keys on the counter. His casual demeanor only fueled her anger. "Can we talk?" Emily's voice was steady, masking the turmoil beneath. "Sure, what's up?" He grabbed a beer from the fridge, oblivious to the gravity of the moment. "Do you want to explain what I saw today?" Her words cut through the air like a knife. Mark froze, the color draining from his face. "What do you mean? Don't play dumb. I saw you with Jessica. You were flirting with her." Emily spat, her voice rising. "It's not what you think. We were just what, Mark? Just having fun? Just being friendly?" Emily's voice trembled with suppressed rage. "I deserve the truth." Mark's expression shifted from confusion to defensiveness. "You're overreacting. It's business. I swear. Business? Is that what you call it?" Emily took a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure. "I can't believe you would betray me like this." Mark took a step closer, desperation in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Emily. I never meant to hurt you. It was a mistake. More than a mistake, Mark. You've been lying to me." She turned away, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I don't even know who you are anymore." In the days that followed, Emily felt like a ghost in her own home. The love they had built over the years now felt like a fragile facade. Mark tried to reach out, but the more he spoke, the more distant she became. Each apology felt hollow, and every attempt to reconnect only reminded her of the betrayal. Emily confided in her best friend, Sarah, who had always been a source of support. Over coffee, she poured out her heart. "I don't know what to do, Sarah. I thought we had a good marriage. Now, I feel like I'm living with a stranger." Sarah listened intently, her brow furrowed in concern. "You deserve better, Em. You need to take control of your life. Have you thought about what you want to do next?" Emily's heart raced at the thought. "What do you mean?" "I mean, what if you turn the tables? If he thinks it's okay to cheat, maybe it's time you show him what it feels like," Sarah suggested, a mischievous glint in her eye. Emily contemplated Sarah's words. It was a radical idea, but a part of her craved revenge. "You think I should seduce someone else? Why not? Show him that you're not just going to sit back and take it," Sarah encouraged. "You're beautiful, intelligent, and you deserve to feel desired." That night, as Emily lay in bed, her mind raced with possibilities. The idea of revenge began to take root, transforming her pain into determination. She decided to set her sights on someone higher up at Mark's company, David, the charismatic VP known for his charm and good looks. The next day, she began to craft her plan. Emily updated her wardrobe, donning outfits that made her feel confident and alluring. She practiced her flirting in the mirror, reminding herself that she was in control. As days passed, Emily started attending more corporate events, looking for opportunities to interact with David. At one such event, she finally caught his attention. They struck up a conversation, and to her surprise, their chemistry was electric. "Wow, you have a great sense of humor," David chuckled, his eyes sparkling. I love your perspective on the industry. Thanks. I've always believed that creativity is key, Emily replied, feeling a rush of excitement. As the night progressed, they exchanged phone numbers, and Emily felt a thrill she hadn't experienced in years. The seduction had begun. Over the next few weeks, Emily and David's flirtation blossomed. They met for drinks, shared laughter, and discovered mutual interests. Emily felt alive in a way she hadn't in a long time. With each meeting, her confidence grew, but so did her internal conflict. One night, as they sat in a dimly lit bar, David leaned closer. I really enjoy spending time with you, Emily. You're different from anyone I've met. Emily's heart raced. I feel the same way. You're amazing. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, the air between them crackled with tension. David reached out, brushing his fingers against her hand. Can I kiss you? The question hung in the air, and before she could respond, he closed the distance, his lips capturing hers in a soft, tentative kiss. Emily felt her heart race, a mix of exhilaration and guilt washing over her. As they pulled away, David looked into her eyes, searching for confirmation. Wow, he breathed, his smile broadening. I didn't know you felt this way. Emily's mind raced. She had crossed a line, and yet a part of her relished the thrill. I didn't either, she admitted, biting her lip. As their relationship deepened, Emily found herself torn between two worlds. Her feelings for David grew stronger, and the initial desire for revenge began to fade. She realized that she was falling for him, not just as a distraction, but as someone who genuinely understood her. However, the guilt of betraying Mark weighed heavily on her conscience. She tried to rationalize her actions, telling herself that Mark had brought this upon himself. Yet, the more time she spent with David, the more she questioned her choices. One evening, as they strolled through a park, David turned to her. You're incredible, Emily. I can't help but think about what we could be. David, Emily hesitated, her heart racing. I'm not sure where this is going. I'm still married. I know, he replied softly, his expression sincere. But you deserve happiness. If your marriage isn't fulfilling you, maybe it's time to consider what you really want. Emily's heart ached with the weight of his words. She had never faced such a difficult decision. Could she really leave Mark? And what about the love they once shared? That night, Emily returned home, her mind swirling with conflicting emotions. Mark was watching TV, a familiar sight that made her heart ache. Could she really end everything they had built? Hey, how was your day? Mark asked, looking up with a smile that felt bittersweet. It was good, Emily replied, forcing a smile. Just busy with work. As the night wore on, the tension bubbled beneath the surface. Emily could no longer ignore the truth. She needed to confront Mark about everything. Mark, we need to talk, she finally said, her voice steady. About what? He asked, brow furrowing. About us. About what's been happening, she replied, her heart racing. Mark's expression shifted from confusion to concern. What do you mean? I know about Jessica, she said, her voice firm. And I can't keep pretending that everything is okay. Mark's face fell, and for a moment, she saw genuine remorse. I'm sorry, Emily. I never meant to hurt you. It was a mistake. A mistake. Emily's voice trembled. You've been lying to me. You've betrayed our trust. I know, and I'm trying to change, he pleaded, stepping closer. I'll do anything to fix this. But what if I don't want to fix it? Emily's heart raced as she spoke the words she had been holding back. Mark's eyes widened, disbelief washing over him. What do you mean? I've been seeing someone else, she admitted, her heart pounding. I'm falling for him. Mark's face paled. Who? Who is he? David, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. The silence that followed was deafening. Mark's expression shifted from shock to anger. You're leaving me for him? After everything we've built? Emily took a deep breath, steeling herself. I don't know if I'm leaving you, but I can't stay in a marriage where I feel betrayed. Mark's anger boiled over. You think running to another man will solve your problems? You're making a huge mistake. I'm trying to find myself again, Mark. I can't keep living a lie, she said, tears streaming down her cheeks. In that moment, the weight of their relationship hung heavily in the air. Emily felt a mix of sadness and relief. The truth was out, and she no longer had to hide. In the days that followed, Emily faced the consequences of her decision. She moved out of their shared home and into a small apartment, a space that felt both liberating and lonely. Mark tried to reach out, but she needed time to process everything. As she settled into her new life, her relationship with David deepened. They spent more time together, exploring the city, sharing dreams, and building a connection that felt genuine. David was supportive, understanding her struggles and encouraging her growth. One evening, as they shared a quiet dinner, David looked at her with a mix of admiration and affection. "You've been through so much, Emily. I admire your strength." "Thank you," she replied, her heart swelling. "You've helped me see things differently." David reached across the table, taking her hand. "I care about you, Emily. I want to be there for you." Emily smiled, feeling a warmth in her chest. For the first time in a long while, she felt hopeful about the future. As the months passed, Emily began to rebuild her life. She immersed herself in her work, pouring her creativity into her projects. With David's support, she felt empowered to chase her dreams. Yet, she couldn't shake the memories of her past. She often reflected on her marriage with Mark, recognizing the lessons learned. She had discovered her worth and the importance of honesty in relationships. One day, while sitting in her favorite cafe, she received a text from Mark. "Can we talk? I miss you." Her heart raced at the thought of reconnecting. Part of her wanted to see him, to understand how they had both changed. She agreed to meet, her mind swirling with possibilities. When they met, the atmosphere was charged with tension. Mark looked different, more subdued and reflective. "I've been doing a lot of thinking," he began, his voice steady. "Me too," Emily replied, her heart pounding. "I realize now how much I took for granted. I was so focused on my career that I neglected our relationship," he admitted, his eyes searching hers. "I'm truly sorry for everything." Emily felt a mix of emotions. "I appreciate your honesty, but I can't go back to the way things were. I've changed." Mark nodded, a hint of sadness crossing his face. "I can see that. You've grown stronger, and I respect that. I wish I could have been the husband you needed." Their conversation flowed easily, and for the first time in a long time, Emily felt a sense of closure. She had loved Mark, but their paths had diverged. As Emily walked away from their meeting, she felt a weight lift off her shoulders. She was ready to embrace her new life, free from the shadows of her past. Mark would always hold a special place in her heart, but it was time to focus on her future. With David by her side, Emily felt a sense of excitement about the possibilities ahead. They continued to explore their relationship, building a foundation based on honesty and mutual respect. As they strolled through the city, hand in hand, Emily knew she had made the right choice. Life was unpredictable, but she was ready to embrace the journey, confident in her ability to navigate whatever came next. Months later, Emily stood in front of her new studio, a space filled with creativity and inspiration. She had transformed her passion into a thriving business, and her relationship with David was flourishing. Looking back, she realized that her journey had been one of self-discovery. The betrayal had led her to find her strength and redefine her happiness. She had learned that love was complex, and sometimes the path to finding oneself required stepping into the unknown. As she glanced at David, who was busy setting up for an event, Emily felt a profound sense of gratitude. Life had a way of guiding her, and she was ready to embrace every twist and turn with an open heart.